Help system initiated. Contacting auto-guide subroutines. Command aborted. Manual override in effect. Notifying client moderator, Phasmatis as per request. Reply received. Establishing direct connection. Opening manual guide interface.
Oh, Trescon, hey. I didn't realize that you'd been gone that long. This is the account update facility of Forum City. You've missed several system updates in your absence, and this area exists to inform you of all the features that have been implemented during that time. I'll help you get through it quickly so we can talk face to face. Let's see. First thing is the self-updating goals. It basically works like those quest logs in traditional role-playing games. Whenever something significant happens in a mission, the goal is changed to reflect this. It can help you figure out what to do if you find yourself stuck somewhere, so remember to check your goal if that happens. I'll add a goal to your log now. Great, now check your goals again. That's it. The goal has been completed and changed to reflect your solution. Go on to the next room. Right, we'll handle a couple of things from this room to save time. First off, go over to the table and use the book to see the new multi-page system. Notice the small More sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the text window. That's the indication that there are more pages in the book. You can either move your crosshair away from the book and then use it again to view the next page, or you can press the button assigned to that function on your keyboard settings. There's also a button to view the previous page when you see a More indicator in the left corner. Go ahead and try it out. When you're done, walk over to the ATMs on the other wall. Now the ATM system has received a major overhaul. You still interface with it as you did before, but this time the accounts are global. If you come across an account number and a PIN somewhere, the account can be accessed from any ATM in Forum City. Beware though that when you hack an ATM, it chooses a random account, and that means you may disable an account that you could have got more money out of if you'd found out the account info instead. Of course, PDX strongly discourages stealing of any kind, but just so you know, the only account number on these ATMs is 012345 and the PIN is 6789. Try logging on from both ATMs and then hacking one of them. You'll notice you can't get any money from the other one because you hacked the only account. Or just move on to the next room. Your choice. Here we'll be showing you the difference between the two new cameras that have entered the corporate security market after you left. The one on the left is the old one, the standard security camera. It can't activate an alarm on its own. It needs somebody to monitor its output in the security room and sound the alarm when he spots you on the camera. The one on the right is the more advanced DX brand camera, which comes with limited built-in artificial intelligence for intrusion detection. Those cameras can basically recognise on their own whether or not you're supposed to be there. They're becoming increasingly widespread. The DX brand cameras are pretty straightforward. Stay out of their field of view or disable them by hacking a security computer or using a multi-tool on them. You know all this, but the old cameras are more interesting right now. I'm going to turn it on so the guy in the security room can see you. Don't panic, no guards will come running, this is just training. Now go through the door to the security room. This is the guy who sounded the alarm when he saw you. Pick up the baton next to him and knock him down. He's a digital construct, so he won't hold a grudge. Nice swing. Now go back into the room with the cameras. You should notice a conspicuous lack of alarms. That's because nobody is watching the output from the camera anymore. Go ahead and move into the next room. Let's give you a chance to show off the result of all those years of physical training. This guy is another construct. Pull up your fist by pressing the button you assigned to that in the keyboard settings. If you haven't assigned a button to the fist already, now's a good time to do so. The fists are a last resort, so you generally don't want to be too upfront when you punch a guy. Try to whack him over the back of the head while he's not looking or something. This fellow is a bit of a pacifist though, so you can go ahead and show him who's boss. You pack a nice punch dress. You can do better though if you cheat a little. Pick up the gloves from the locker over there. You can use these to add some nasty effects to your punches. Open your inventory and use the gloves you just picked up. Then click the fist icon between the ammo icon and the password folder. This brings up the glove menu. Highlight the gloves you just picked up by clicking on their icon, then close the inventory. The gloves should now be equipped. Just pull up your fists again and smack some of the furniture around. When you're done, move on to the next room. Next up is something we didn't train you in back in the PDX-CIS days, making Molotov cocktails. Molotovs can be made from a wide range of household materials, but the more you know about demolitions, the less chemicals you need. For now, we're setting a demolition skill to trained. Without any training, the best you can do is make a killer laxative. Pick up the wine bottle and those chemical bottles on the table. When you have 6 of them, you can use them to make a Molotov cocktail. Good. Now I'm raising your demolition skill to master. Grab some bottles from the closets and see how many you need for one cocktail now. Then go to the next room. Now let's have some fun. I'm going to demonstrate a somewhat exotic new weapon function, firing modes. You should actually remember it from your own pistols, but a small refresher never hurts. Apart from those pistols I made for you, this napalm launcher is the only weapon that uses firing modes. They work exactly like alternate ammo, only each firing mode always uses the same ammo, and there is no delay when switching between them. Pick up the launcher, release the target and fire a few blobs. Then press the change ammo button and fire again. When you've had your fun, go on to the next room. Okay, we're almost through the course, but this is a major update, so pay attention. In the old system, augmentation was quite an exclusive feature, only available to the moderators and the administrator. Now, with World Cup success, augmentation is far more widespread and is now available for any veteran. Of course, that means you can get augs now too, besides the standard light, IFF and private messaging augs. This update brings a couple of important tactical considerations into play. First of all, you can see which augs a person has by examining him or her with a targeting aug, which has been upgraded a few times. I'll give you targeting on a suitable upgrade level so you can try it out on me. I'm right up here in the observation room. Active augs will be highlighted in green, inactive ones will be white. When you've tried it out, pick up the aug upgrade on the table. Now, use this canister to upgrade your light augmentation. Then activate it to watch how it fails to drain away any of your bioenergy. If you plan to spend a lot of time sneaking around vent shafts and sewer tunnels, you may want to seriously consider upgrading your light aug so you don't spend too much energy just to see where you're going. But it's up to you, of course. There are many other ways to put an upgrade canister to good use. Great! Finally, there's an important change to the way standard augmentation canisters can be used. If you already have an augmentation that you've just picked up, you can use the new augmentation to upgrade the one you've already installed. Pick up the 2 canisters in the container and use the medbot to install one of them and then upgrade it to level 2. I think you're ready to move on to the last room. Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. When you encounter an augmented enemy, a great way to turn the table on him is to zap him with a couple of EMP grenades. That way, his augs will be completely useless, and it'll be much easier to take him out. Unless, of course, he has an EMP shield, and then you just have to do it the hard way. And some may, of course, carry biocells around, in which case you'll have to zap them again. This is the last room. Before we end, there's one more thing I'd like to explain. Hopefully, you'll recall how DD, Cashew, and I are invulnerable. That's because we're moderators. Anybody else can be killed, but you're ill-advised to do so without good reason. Now you're welcome to examine these holographic representations of some of the factions you'll encounter in Forum City before you leave the server and enter Forum City proper. I'll speak to you soon, I hope.
Firewall Unit, Faction PDX. The PDX faction is the administrative body of Forum City, based exclusively on volunteer work by certain selected individuals. The leader of PDX and administrator of Forum City is Despot, who has never appeared in public. PDX employs a system of digital automatons known as firewalls to enforce peace in the city in times of crisis. Firewalls are sensitive to EMP damage. Security Guard, Faction WorldCorp. Both with regard to number of employees and annual profits, WorldCorp has become the largest corporation in Forum City during the past 2 years. Originally specialized in biomechanics and nanoengineering, WorldCorp has branched out into nearly every conceivable area of business in Forum City. The corporation is owned and run entirely by Skara B. King, and is estimated to make up 70% of the private sector of the city.
What were you expecting, Jaime Reyes? Yes, you remember the secret door, big deal. Now wipe that smoke look off your face and get on with it, Trescon.
Llama Worshipper, Faction the Llama Cult. The Llama religion is dedicated to the worship of the Llama god Lamar. The Llama Cult is at war with the opposing Goat Cult, and their temple is prominently located in the central district of Forum City. The high priest of the Llama Cult is Beefman. The temple of the Llama Cult contains a number of blank tablets, the inscriptions on which the Llama worshippers believe will reveal themselves to a prophesied individual chosen by their god. Goat Worshipper, Faction the Goat Cult. The Goat religion is dedicated to the worship of the goat god Un. Their prophet is now a deceased goat, Gerald, whom they believe to be the manifestation of their god. The Goat Cult is at war with the opposing Llama Cult, but they have somehow managed to keep their temple concealed from all others. The Renegade Master, Faction DXO. The DXO terrorist cell started as a political party in opposition to the government of PDX. The DXO faction themselves cite their persistent failure to gain influence in the non-democratic government of Forum City as the reason for their eventual transformation into a terrorist group. The current location of DXO is unknown. Board Guest, Faction General Populace. The board guests are generally subject to much ridicule from more experienced citizens due to their tendency towards immature behavior and their reluctance to claim responsibility for their own actions, instead hiding behind anonymity. The board guests are harmless,